Welcome to LaQuita's Toolbox, where we deliver relevant content in the form of tools that empower entrepreneurs to elevate personally and professionally. Good is only good until greater is envisioned. You know there's another level in you. Here we discuss the tools to get you there. Lean in as LaQuita and her guests present you with strategies and insight for unlocking your full potential to realize your boldest dream. Welcome back to another amazing episode of LaQuita's Toolbox. I am your host, LaQuita Monley, and we are having a fantastic day in the Lord on this Wednesday. We in the studio today, y'all, and I have another amazing guest in studio with me. I know you will be pleased. So those of you that are not new to the Toolbox, you know the drill. Get something to write with and something to write on, because you do not want to miss any of the tips, tools, and strategies that are going to be dropped in today's episode that are designed to help you grow both personally and professionally. But before I introduce today's guest to us, let me take a moment to thank our sponsors at Covenant Press. Covenant Press is a faith-based Christian apparel and accessory shop where we can shop online as believers to buy clothing and accessories that allow us to wear the message of the love of Jesus Christ. Go out to www.covenant-press.com. Again, that's www.covenant-press.com. Don't click off of those pop-ups too quickly, because they contain valuable discount codes. When applied at checkout, you can receive some amazing savings on your purchase with Covenant Press. Now, y'all, let's get right into the meat of the podcast. I almost went to church right then, but I ain't gonna say that. It was just in my throat right there. It was like on my tongue. I wanted to say something. Everybody in the pews know when they hear the speaker say that, they don't really mean it. It's just a courtesy protocol. So if you know, you know, because I'm not gonna say it. If you know, you know, and if you don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. I tell you what, ask your favorite Christian friend. Because very people have heard it. Like I said, if you know, you know. But anyway, look, y'all know I always have a guest on that's doing some fabulous things in their life and in their business journey. And that pattern continues with today's guest, Miss Charmeyce Buck. And I'm just going to give you a little bit about Miss Charmeyce, and then we're going to jump into a conversation where she's going to tell us a whole lot of it about herself. Charmeyce is originally from Atlanta, Georgia. She now resides in the Houston, Texas area. She earned her bachelor's degree in chemistry from Hampton University in 2014 and went on to obtain dual master's degrees in forensic science and criminal crime scene investigation from Stevenson University. Currently, Charmeyce is pursuing her PhD at Texas Southern University. As the CEO of Shalom Analytics and Consulting, LLC, she embodies the company's mission, where peace meets passion. That's her company's mission, where peace meets passion. She's a devoted servant of God. Charmeyce is deeply committed to ensuring that people experience a profound encounter with Abba, truly embodying the Father's business and heart. Welcome to the show, Miss Charmeyce. Welcome to the show, sis.
Thank you, LaQuita. Do you want me to just call you LaQuita or Dr. Monley? Because you have so many titles. We can call you Bishop. We can call you so many things. It is your show.
Look, listen. We could just rock with LaQuita. How about that?
Okay. Thank you so much for having me, LaQuita. It is a blessing and an honor, woman of God, sis, to be on your show. And I'm just blessed by this. So I am good. Excited. I don't know. The Lord is just gonna move. Like that's just what he does. We start, he comes in and he shifts that thing to his direction. So
Yes.
there is something for somebody today. And I pray that you get the meat and discard the bone and you have something to eat for the rest of the week.
See, there you go, right there already. Listen, y'all, this is gonna be real good today. It's gonna be real good today. Look, I've been wanting to get you on this show for a long time and see, you know, now is the right time. Now is the right time. It's the perfect time because I tell you, when I first met you, you and I were part of a program that was designed to help us as minorities understand the purpose and the power of minority certifications and why it's important as minorities that we receive those certifications to help us tap into a deeper realm of government contracting. Let me say that. I want to say a different, give us a deeper understanding of the power of government contracting, and the power that each one of the certifications possess. And it's an open door that we have. And a lot of minority businesses don't know that it's there, or they do know it's there and they don't understand the process that they need to take to get there. And so that's how we met. But
Yes.
then I learned about what you did, and I was like, "My God,
Thank you. That's
I need I need her on the show because I can't say that I have ever, not that I haven't met, you know, um, black men or black women that do what you do.
Mhm,
I will say I have not met black men and black women that do what you do,
mhm.
and they doing it for themselves,
Mm,
not as a part of someone else's corporation. And so we ain't gonna keep the listener just hanging on by a string like, "Look, what she do, what she do." I'm about to let her tell you what she do. Because when I told my husband and my son was like, "Oh, see, I told y'all."
listen, listen. In a couple weeks, when I come up there, I may have to just roll on up with that pound cake I told you about. So, Ben, tell Ben, get ready for some lemon pound cake.
Yeah, bring it on. Don't neither one of us need it, me nor him. But we're gonna eat it with great joy, okay? With every bite and a little vanilla ice cream, I'm thinking about you.
Listen, I brought my niece back from Atlanta, and so she's been quick. Oh, Mimi, can you make this? Can you make this? Can you make this? I said, okay, like here we go. And I was proud of myself because I made breakfast and dinner yesterday, and
You
still studied and did everything. I was like, okay, Holy Spirit, I thank you for that consistency.
come on now. Come with it. With it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to us getting together. Got some ideas, possibly if it fits your calendar.
Hmm.
Um, in my head, we're gonna talk about why you here. But look,
Okay.
I know they was like these two little cackling women just won't get to the point. My bad, my bad. We gonna get there. We only like 7 minutes into the podcast, y'all. So just hold tight. This the intro. And again, if you know, you know. This is just the intro. If you don't know, don't worry about it. This is the intro to the show.
Oh my
Go
God.
ahead and tell us more. Let's get to the meat of what you do and at Shalom Analytics. What is Shalom Analytics, and
Consulting.
why did you think that it was now was the time when we met to birth this amazing business?
Okay. So, Shalom Analytics and Consulting, we are an analytical consulting laboratory. And what we do is we service the pharma, cosmetic, and agriculture industry, as well as corporations, government agencies, and educational institutions. And we help them with business strategy, growth strategy, as well as pitching and conference preparation. And we also help clients with formulating products so they can get onto the market and they can expand their business. We're all about kingdom connections and kingdom growth because nowhere in the Bible did the Lord talk about us being in debt. He always sent you to somebody that had exactly what you needed to go to your next.
Yes.
So for me, I am the catalyst to help people go to their next, but also people are the catalyst to help me go to my next. And that's all about kingdom networking and kingdom building. Um, the time for birthing Shalom Analytics and Consulting came to me in prayer. Like I asked the Lord, what is it you want me to name this business? And in prayer, he gave me Shalom Analytics and Consulting. And after he gave me that, literally, I'm about to pull the book down. I began to study a book with my ministry. I'm on the prayer ministry at church, and I'm also on the deliverance ministry there. And so one of the books that we were reading was by Apostle John Eckhart, and it is Deliverance and the Spiritual Warfare Manual. And so as soon as I began to read, now normally, I'm going to be honest, I'll go straight to the chapter instead of reading the introduction. But the Lord was like, no, go here. It's something that I have for you. So as I begin to read, he breaks down the word shalom, because we know that shalom means peace.
Right.
And so that's where the tagline "Peace Meets Precision" came from. And so he said, rest is peace, shalom, and prosperity. So hold up, Holy Spirit, what you doing here? He said, peace is an all-inclusive word that encompasses prosperity, safety, health, protection, fruitfulness, and abundance. According to the Hebrew definition, we can substitute the word prosperity with shalom, peace. So in that moment, I lost it, because I said, Holy Spirit, you are too good. So you're letting me know that my business will be prosperous. It will be safe because I abided in you, and this is for you to get the glory. I will be healthy, or the business will be healthy. It won't lack any holes. There won't be any lepers in it. It will just be flowing through as the Holy Spirit has called it. And there will be completeness, and not only completeness for me, but for the community, because everything that we do is for our community and to create that healthy ecosystem. And so literally, that is how Shalom Analytics and Consulting was birthed. It was through prayer. And so the time of launching was literally a perfect timing, because me and my prior partner, which I love to death, we went our separate ways, which that happens along the way.
It does.
And it was in the middle of that transition, and I was like, Lord, okay, I'm gonna finally step out and do it. Like, yes, I will say I delayed in birthing this and pushing it out, but I realized I birthed it at the right time, because there were things hidden inside of me that were residue from prior seasons that if I birthed it at that time, that residue would have bled on it. And so I realized, even though I delayed it, it was delayed for the proper timing, because everything happens within the Lord's timing.
See, right there, we're gonna unpack a couple of things.
Come on, I'm here.
We're gonna unpack a couple of things. Let's see. You know what? Yes, we will unpack a couple of things. Now, we might not unpack it all in this one podcast, but we're gonna do our best. Praise the Lord. Look, because you said something right there that's really key. And we hear it a lot of times in the Christian community. Delay is not denial. But in your humanity, we can feel that delay is the end. It's the end. It's like we missed a connection. And so I love what you're saying. As business owners, as believers, we can't delay in doing things intentionally, purposefully. Don't let laziness or fear, things like that, prevent you from doing some stuff. But the Lord is so wonderful that even when we do that, he always has a way for us. Like, okay, you got it together now. Let's move forward. Don't think about what woulda, shoulda, coulda. I love your perspective right there, where you understood that some parts of your past, or say past seasons, that you needed to heal from, you needed to grow from, you needed to learn from. Like, there were so many things in that place in your life that you could not bring into this new place in your life, because in this new place in your life, on a personal and professional level, those things from your past, in my book, I call it unlearning. You know, you had to unlearn those things that don't serve you anymore. They may have served you and served you well in the past, but being able to be a forward thinker, a visionary, one that heeds the voice of the Lord and moves with intention, then you realize, okay, first of that maturity level, let me recognize that these things no longer serve me and I need to take my time and deal with them. And while I'm dealing with them, I'm continuing to write out the vision. I'm continuing to plan. Like, what do you do while you're waiting? You weren't just waiting. A lot of people feel like waiting or indecisiveness. Sometimes people feel like that's indecisive, or again, like I'm just delaying and I should be doing. No, maybe you shouldn't. But it's key that we know the difference. And here, I think you really bless some people right there. I don't think it. I know you really bless some people right there because in this entrepreneurial space, on television, on social media, and all of these different things, all we see is the bright, the beauty, and the glory. When we go to the pitch competitions, when we go to the networking meetings, when we are going to the BNI groups, like we're part of different groups, rarely do we hear about the behind the scenes. Sometimes people give us full transparency, and that's a blessing. But oftentimes, all we see is the end result of their back end work.
Yeah.
And what I hear you saying here very clearly is you took the time to do the self work.
Yeah.
So that the Charmeyce that's on this podcast today is fully equipped and fully capable, fully healed.
Yes.
From those things, that now you have a clear mind, a clear focus, a clear vision, and a roadmap.
Yeah.
To get to that level of success. Let's talk about that a little bit. You know, how did you come to that place where you realize, you know what, this is what God is calling me to do. I'm going to do it, but I know now is not the time. I need to work on me. Like, how did you get to that place?
Ooh, that's a good question, woman of God. Literally just prayer, fasting, but seeking the elders. And the word says that we must seek the elders for wisdom.
Come on.
And so literally sometimes they would just give me one word and I would take that word to God and go into prayer. And I'll never forget there was one time last semester when I was in the middle of this transition, and I'm talking about I'm sitting in class doing my best trying to focus, and all hell is breaking loose in my life. And I'm in warfare, but I'm trying to focus in class. And I'm talking about tears are piling up in my eyes. And I was like, Lord, I cannot break down in this class. Like, I have to focus. And in that moment, because I surrendered and called on him in the middle of class, like just internally having this conversation, he literally spoke to me and prophesied to me and was like, prophesy over yourself. And I wrote everything on the paper. Like, I have a paper over my paper so people wouldn't see what's happening. And I'm literally writing everything the Lord is saying. And in that moment, there was a release that happened in the middle of my class. And so once I got home from class, I went back over and I reread it. And he's like, you're the forerunner, you're the trailblazer. I have everything you need. Like, you just need to stay in my presence. And I'm gonna give you the strategy, I'm gonna give you the design, the things that, as we said before, we use prior, it's not working in this. And so even along this new journey with him, where it's just solely him and me, because I've even put him as the CEO of my company, it's Jesus. And I said supernaturally and in the natural, and there is a line to me. And I said, I'm just the vessel that you are using, so you can do whatever you want to. And that's even a prayer I say when I do my communion. The bread, I say, this is your body, and I exchange my body for your body. So that means you can break it, shape it, bend it, mold it, do what you need to do.
Oh my.
Exactly. That's a big girl prayer. And then when I take the blood,
girl.
I take the blood. I said, I exchange my DNA for your DNA. So anything that is not in me, that is in me, that is not of you, must come out. And anything that will hinder me from doing the things you have called me to do, take them out. Just as you cursed the fig tree prophetically, curse those things inside of me and remove them and replace them with your fruit. I said, Lord, I want to bear the fruit as the trees do a revelation where they produce monthly.
Come
And
on.
that takes a whole new level of courage. It takes a whole new level of faith, whole new level of strength, a whole new level of trust in the Lord. But those are the things that he is seeking. And so in this, it has also caused me to learn how to properly surrender to him.
Come on.
Because if I surrender to him and show him that I trust him, I'm forcing his hand to move, because he will not let his child go without.
That's good. That's good.
So
That's
that
good.
is how we got here. And then also knowing and obtaining this wisdom that I must maintain my deliverance, because the enemy will come back and knock and see if you will open that door, or if there is a wound for him to enter in, and he'll bring 7 more. But I refuse to go back to where I once was.
Come on. That's real good. Look.
And so it causes this walk and this journey of entrepreneurship is the road of the narrow place. And not a lot of people can come, but only the people that he places. But we got to even discern that. Okay, are you in me with this season? Or are you with me with this lifetime?
Come on.
And
That's
so
good.
Everything that I do, I'm like, all right, Lord, what you want me to do about this? How do we go about this? Like, Lord, help me produce consistency in this area, because I realize that consistency is a form of stewardship.
Say that again. Very, very. Say that again. Very, very loud. And I, when you say that, I got something I'm gonna add too. I ain't taking nothing away.
Oh yeah.
Just, I'm an amen in it, and you put a thought on it.
Oh, this, because he's been dealing with me. Like, he's been giving me revelation on stewardship, because we always think of stewardship as financial. He's like, no. Stewardship is everything. How you're stewarding your mind, your ear gate, your eye gate, your time, your health, your
Put my clap button on this thing. Oh, son, you gotta tell me, because I need to clap. And I need the thing to do the clap, so I won't hurt the people's ear. Put my clap button on this contraption. Come on. You better talk about it.
Listen. And so that's why I have been asking, Lord, help me to be consistent in this area. This is a new dimension that I'm stepping into, but I need to produce consistency. And the only way I can produce consistency is by being in that secret place with you. And I realized that the secret place, each time we go into the secret place, it requires a new level.
Come on now.
And so that also, it goes into pruning. Everybody's like, oh, we're in a season of pruning. Yes, this is true. But also pruning happens daily, because we are not the same as we were yesterday, 5 seconds ago, or even 1 second ago.
I mean, our natural body does it. Like, we lose dead stuff all the time. Dead skin, hair follicles. We can't see it. At least I hope y'all can't. You shouldn't be able to see it.
Oh my God. But
you shouldn't be able to see it. But it's happening. And it's happening for the right reason. Like, we need that to happen.
Yeah.
We need that to happen to stay healthy. And to renew and refresh. So if the Lord does that in our physical body, he's created our physical body for that. How much more? And his word talks about it. We have to renew our mind daily. Look, your girl over here, the host of this show, it's like, Lord, I got to renew my mind every moment, every day. Because sometimes the things that I want to do, I don't. And the things that I should be doing, the things I shouldn't be saying or doing, I find myself doing.
Oh, girl, listen. You're not the only one. Like, I'm quick to say, Lord, your children acting ghetto. Like, I need you to lay hands and not me, because they might be unholy. And I just,
you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just keep it real. We love the Lord, and we're talking about the things, the tools that God has given us through his word and through his precious Holy Spirit, so that we can accomplish the mission, so that we can achieve the goals and we can reach the heights and the depths and all that good jazz that
Yeah.
he's created us to be.
Yeah.
And you're definitely laying a great foundation. You've definitely been giving us some amazing tools for the listener. Like I hope y'all been taking notes because the woman of God has said some things. I ain't even got to we ain't even halfway unpacked the first question. In case you thought we had. Let me be clear. We have not halfway unpacked the first question because just to recap, some of the one of the things that Charmeyce has shared with us today is how she got to the place where she recognized that there were things in her past, old mindsets, relationships, collaborations, you name it, blah, 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 blah. There's old things in her past that could not go with her on this journey that she was going to embark upon with bringing Shalom Analytics and Consulting into a reality as a professional in her personal life and in her professional life. There's things that she just had to let go.
Mhm.
First she had to recognize that she needed to let it go, then do the work to let it go. And in her journey of doing that, she sought the Lord in prayer. Uh, she journaled. Well, let's just keep it at that. Like she sought the Lord in prayer. She journaled, and that was an important thing that she did there as well. She consulted the elders. I was watching a podcast on TBN. I can't remember the name of it. Actually, it's not. I was not watching TBN. I was actually watching YouTube, but it was on there. And on this particular show, why I can't think of the name of the show. Anywho, Jackie Hill Perry was talking
Mm.
on this particular episode that I was watching. She was talking about the importance of younger generations, i.e., us, younger generations learning to take heed to the wisdom of the elders.
Whew.
And yes, we may be technologically, more advanced and, the times and the things, but the scripture tells us there's nothing new under the sun. We
Mm.
might do it in a different way, but
Yeah,
principles are principles and they don't shift.
that's it.
And I think every generation is guilty of it, where we look back at the generations before us and deem them stupid or behind the times.
Mhm.
And our way is bigger and better and, more advanced. And she said something really great there. When the question is asked, how did she get to where she was? That was one of her answers. Like she had to get to a place where she sought the wisdom, she received the wisdom, and she began to act it out. And that's what you said there. You sought the wisdom of those. And be clear, sometimes elders don't necessarily mean older than you in age. It can mean someone with more experience than you with doing what you're doing. They are
Yes.
already at a place in their careers or in their business that you are trying to get to,
Yes.
that they can give you some wisdom on how to get there.
Yes.
And no matter how off putting it may sound,
Mhm.
sometimes a large majority of the time, they're right.
Yes.
And they can actually help us not go through some of the fiery trials that we found ourselves in.
Listen, that's so true. And I cannot tell you how many people the Lord literally sent to me and literally said, you just needed to know the process. And I
Mhm.
was just like, yes, Lord, I hear you.
Yeah.
Like, he sent so many people to confirm me, and he sent me back to a dream that he gave me a while ago. And what he told, I was like, okay, Lord, like I have to surrender. And that takes a level of courage. And I
Yeah.
realized I don't have that courage, but I need to get that courage.
Mhm.
So that's when I went to my apostolic covering, like, I need you. Like,
Mhm.
I need to pull on you.
Mhm.
Like,
And let me break that down for those of you that are unchurched. And it's okay to be unchurched.
mhm.
You know, this wisdom applies across the board because the beautiful thing is this world revolves on principles.
Yes.
There are certain principles. If we follow those principles, um, we're just going to have good success.
Mhm.
Bottom line. And when she says her apostolic covering, think of on that as those that are in authority in her life. And so maybe we could say her executive coach, if we will, somebody that you have paid a lot of money to help you through this. You know, that you're, and we all understand that sometimes we need coaches in different areas of our life, not just one coach. You know, you'll have coaches for different components, different aspects of your life, and different parts of your business. You'll have coaches. And so when she's saying that, and even when we're saying elders, just think of those as coaches, people who've gone through the training, they've gotten the certifications, they have all of the certificates, and they have the experience, and they also have the net income and gross income in their business to say I know what I'm talking about. So think about that in those terms. What Charmeyce is saying, she sought out the right people to give her wisdom in the right areas of her life. She sought out the right people to give her wisdom and strategies in the right places through different aspects of properly setting up her business, when to set it up, how to set it up, you know, the different marketing strategies, all of these different things. We all have to have someone. And so if we can do you know, metaphorically, think about it in those terms, because I want to make sure we don't lose any of the listeners. Like, what they talking about?
Yeah, no, that's so
So
good, and you're helping me, um, especially when I encounter those that are not church. And I think in today's society, when we're around so many people that are church, and when we encounter the unchurched, sometimes we don't have the proper language to relate to them. Hey, you see it this way, like it's this way, but we can break it down this way so you can see that it equates to the same thing. Because at the end of the day, we want them to have an encounter with Jesus like we had that changed our life.
right, right, and you're absolutely right. And you know, I have to admit that wisdom came from my husband many years ago.
See, come on, Ben. Come
Now,
on.
I was not very receiving. Let's be very clear. Let's be very clear. I was not receiving what he was putting down because my little self was offended deeply. Because what you saying? What you talking about? And
Oh,
basically, what he told me, he was like, "You need to learn how to have a conversation with people." I talk a lot, so I was not computing what he meant. Like,
my
what do you
God.
mean? I have conversations with people all day, every day. I talk to strangers. You the one over there don't talk to people. What did we? Because it wasn't coming together. So I was offended. I'm like, you get mad at me for talking to people. Now you telling me I need to. What are we saying here?
Okay.
So he said it for years. I didn't get what he was saying. He didn't get why I didn't understand what he was saying. So
Mhm.
we was at an impasse. I wasn't changing, and one day it just hit the both of us in a heated fellowship. For those of you that be like, "Well, high fellowship heated," don't let your mind go there. We were in an argument. That's what it is. We were in an argument. We were having an argument.
Oh
And
my God.
it was wrapping back to that. And we realized that communication is vital. It is key. Uh, we learned from our previous pastors that proper communication is the cure to all confusion. And we weren't communicating properly, like in a way that he wasn't communicating to me in a way that I could
Know
receive.
something. you just, you just,
And I wasn't receiving, like he wasn't saying anything in malice. He was just saying, you need to shift. You missing something. You are missing being able to connect with a lot of people because you don't know how to talk to people. And I was offended. But when I understood what he meant, I was able to receive it. And he was right. So basically, what he was saying is sometimes as believers, is what you said, sometimes as believers, you know, it's like in high school, you got your cliques.
Mhm.
Sometimes as believers, we spend so much time with
Yeah.
not just other Christians, because there are different denominations in Christianity. Everybody do things a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
But we spend so much time with the people who do and say what we do and say that, our slang, our lingo.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we talk to everybody. And you got people over there scratching their head like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Like,
Yeah.
and you have what they need.
Yeah.
So I had to become intentional about making that shift. And so, especially in business, for me, it took several years for me to process and accept that I should be speaking and teaching, facilitating courses outside of the church. It took me a long time because I could not process how to do that. Because there's some things that I want to say, like at the top of the podcast, there's some things that I want to say that just don't translate. It just it doesn't translate into the secular or to non-believers.
Absolutely.
So, and I was like, I don't want to have to take that much energy. Let me just be honest. I don't want to have to take that much energy to be talking and thinking through, several filters of what it is I want to say to make sure I hit the mark and not offend nobody. Make sure I can say it in a way that can be well received.
That's so good.
And then I had a revelation, like, you can do it. Others have gone before you and done it. You can do it. It doesn't have to compromise anything.
That's it.
It's just a way that we're going to reach more people. And so, ta-da, here I am today, but it's a process. You had to we had to think that through. Like, I imagine in your field, because for the short, like a short synopsis of who you're a scientist.
Yes.
You are a scientist.
Yes.
And you are in a field that is not dominated by Christians.
No, it's not.
I mean, you're like the pink elephant, pink, purple, polka dotted elephant.
Yes.
So not only are you young, Black, female, and you a Christian in a community of largely not just non-believers, but people who you may find yourself in some places where people think your intelligence doesn't cut the mustard because you are a Christian. Like, I remember the first time I heard that, I'm like, that has got to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But people believed it with a passion. Like, the first time I heard that was I was in England. And a lot of European culture is very humanist in their belief system, very humanist. Not to say there's no Christians over there or anybody of any faith system, because when I say humanist, that means they don't care whether you're a Christian, a Buddhist, a Muslim, Hindu. They believe all of us are crazy because we believe in a higher power. We believe in a God of sorts or many gods. They think it's just me, myself, and I. And I made this wonderful. And so you find yourself, I think, and jump in here in a minute and tell me if I'm wrong. How do you function in that? Like, and create a conversation that, yes, I deserve to be here. Not because of any of my minority marks.
Yeah.
That ain't why I'm here. I'm here because I'm an intelligent scientist.
Yes. So there's a couple things actually. And I wanted to say this as you were talking about relating to people. And I just told one of my sisters this, and anything, we speak, we also have to partake ourselves. And it's also giving people grace and mercy, and then also meeting them where they're at and not forgetting where we come from. And so I feel like sometimes we lose a moment of where we come from because we don't want to keep dealing with that past. But that past is how you help bring people forward. Like, we have to reveal our skeletons.
Right.
That's the only way. And so for me in this journey, I've always wanted to I love science as a kid. And originally I wanted to be a forensic pathologist. And I saw live autopsies on adults. I'm like a kid at the candy store, face on the screen. Ooh, it's their brain. Is this, is this, is this. But I look over to the left and I see 2 children under the age of 2 getting an autopsy. And that's when my heart posture changed, because I said, Lord, I cannot separate this. And I love children too much. And I asked the guy who gave us the tour. And he said, not to sound morbid, but they're just a piece of meat. Yes, I get it. To be absent from the body is to be present from the Lord, but that's still someone's child at the end of the day. And I know, because I have a big heart and I love children, I would not be able to disconnect. And so the Lord reminded me of how much I love science and doing research, because I did research for the Homeland Security at FDA in undergrad at Hampton. And so I was like, you are right. I love the lab. So that's how I got there. But people, yes, when I walk in the room, people are intimidated by my height, my size, the way I look, which is fine. And then also they downplay like, oh, she's just a Black woman just coming in, maybe trying to see how she can get her way in. Like, these are things that I've heard. Like, I've been called I was called before the company Rahab.
Wow.
The company Rahab. And the thing was, I was not even sleeping with the man, nor did I ever see myself even doing anything with the man. He was just a great friend, and he's also married. I don't play with God, nor do I play about that.
Right.
But I learned a lot of skill sets from him. And like, me and him are the best of friends now. And so much to the point, he'll call me, hey, how you think I should do this with this instrument? Or how should I go about this? And I was like, that's such an honor for someone who taught me. Now they're seeking me for the same knowledge.
Come on.
Different knowledge.
Right.
So literally every time I walk in a room, people, I get downplayed, I get sized up. But it's when I open my mouth, I suck them in like, oh, you're so intelligent. You're so smart. Thank you. Thank you. Like, I know my stuff, but it comes from me studying, and then also me just keep pressing forward. There has been times I will never forget. I cried my eyes out one time before going to work, because I was like, I'm tired of people defaming my character. I'm tired of this. And then you're overworking me. You're not paying me. And these are some of the things that we go through in the minority community. And even with all these degrees,
come on,
you are underpaying me. You're not paying me enough to live, but yet you want me to work all these hours. You're not giving me overtime. You want me to supervise people and teach people what I know, but yet you're bringing them on, and they're paying them more because they look like you. But what about me?
Right.
And so it was through all those scars that I obtained, and I realized that was laying the foundation for now.
Yeah.
And so it gave me every single key, but literally now I walk into each room with boldness and confidence and authority, and I do not let it faze me. And that was something that literally took a while to get to, because I've never paid attention to it until, like, you know how you sit back and you actually discern the things prior and the things now. And I was in a conference room for a conference, and the theme that year was forensic science. Little did I know that the gentleman who was hosting that particular talk in the room would be my professor for my master's program. And so literally I went there to present my research that I had been doing for the Homeland Security and FDA, first time ever doing it. And I'll never forget the question that he asked. And he said, how do you determine the striations on a bullet? That's all he asked. So everybody's going around. You got people from Johns Hopkins. You got people from the University of Maryland. They're like, oh, you put it in a computer. It'll be this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And literally, I looked at my professor, a Black woman in STEM, sitting next to me. So I looked at her, and I was like, okay, I'm going to answer. So I raised my hand. He pointed to me. I said, no, you need a comparison microscope. You take the projectile that was taken from the scene, and you take your standard and you compare it with the comparison microscope. And if your striations match, you have a match with the bullet. If they don't, then that means that bullet was not shot from that gun. done. And literally his mouth dropped on the floor and he stopped everything. And everyone in the room turned and looked at me. And literally he was like, how do you know this? Like,
come on, sis.
I said, I'm a forensic chemistry major. He was like, that makes sense. But he said, that's the right answer. That's the answer I was looking for. So literally after that session was over, he got my information and we stayed in contact. And literally every person in there, I'm talking about, I'm in a room full of white people. Maybe there's 5 of us that are blacks. And literally every single one walked up to me and shook my hand and said, you know your stuff. I am so afraid of you. Like, oh my gosh. And I was just like, thank you. That's an honor. But I haven't, ever since then, I have been encountering that so much. But also, I've realized in our field, there are people who have the money and they don't have the background. So they're just like, let me just create this business and put bodies in there and y'all will run it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so the Lord is like, no more. I'll never forget.
That's in a lot of businesses. A lot of businesses, the owner of the business is nowhere near as intelligent as the people that run the business. And they are 1,000% okay with that because they didn't want to be hands-on in the business in the beginning. They just realized that it's a lucrative field and I want in so that I can make money. So their wisdom was create the business and do just what you said. Hire the people who are more than intelligent than I to make sure the business don't fail.
Absolutely. And they care about the revenue. And that is something that bothered me because behind every sample is a client that you should care about. I cannot tell you the things that I have encountered, the lack of integrity people have had, so much to the point where I stood up to the VP of the company and I said, no, enough is enough. We're not doing this. I'm stepping over your supervisor. I'm stepping over this. I refuse. My name will not be on it because my name carries weight. And so he looked
integrity.
At me. Yes. He looked at me and was like, did you really just say, I'll say it again? I'll say it again. We're not doing this. Like, why? If the facility sent in the samples improperly, why are we sitting up here trying to run the results and then try and match it to the patient to be like, oh, we ran it? Nope. Tell the facility they messed up. And it was a new technician who wasn't paying attention, who accidentally threw the requisitions away. And those samples cannot be ran. I'm not going to forge anything because if something comes back and say, hey, this person actually had cocaine in their system and they've never been on cocaine before, you now have an open door for a lawsuit.
Yeah.
And so, no, like it got to a point, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not working here no more. I'm not doing this. I'm taking my hands off. And so seeing the lack of integrity in our field, dealing with the character defamation and just everything that has been endured, that's what helped also birth this. But just literally just letting stuff be ducks, like water to a duck's back and letting it roll off my back.
Let it roll off.
Listen, he called me to be bold and courageous.
That
so I didn't.
Bold and very courageous.
Listen, so I don't have fear anymore. Yeah, people have doubted me. I still encounter people that doubt me, but it's okay. I'm here on the Father's business, and when I'm on the Father's business, we not friends until his business get done. And once his business get done, we can laugh, we can kiki, we can do all that. But as for me right now, I'm on an assignment and a mission, and don't you hinder it.
Come on now. Don't get in the way. Don't get in the way. Look, y'all, this episode is getting real good to me. It is real good. It ain't getting real good. It is real good. But we're going to, I got a few more things I want to ask you, but I'm going to save it for the next time. Okay. I'm going to save it for the next time because I know for a fact there will be a next time.
Yeah.
So I just want to recap. Ms. Charmeyce Buck, she is the founder and CEO of Shalom Analytics Consulting. And at Shalom Analytics Consulting, go ahead and let us know again what Shalom Analytics and Consulting does, because you cover several spaces from agriculture, cosmetics, pharmaceutical services, consulting services. You provide a lot of services.
Yes. So Hold on, because something dropped in my spirit and I had to stop. Sorry, y'all. Oh, we Lord. Oh, yes, we do service the agriculture, cosmetic, and pharmaceutical industry, in providing formulation. That was real country. Excuse me, y'all. Formulation and testing analysis to help you get onto the market. You can come with a formulation, or we can formulate from scratch. And if you have any products that need testing, we can work out your package from stability testing, shelf life testing, your raw materials, the impurities, water activity, and things of that nature. That's on the analytics side. And for consulting, we work with corporations, government agencies, and HBCUs for growth and strategy, as well as pitching and conference preparation. And right now, respectfully, I have been working heavily with the HBCU in helping their business students in business plan, business pitching, how to network properly, and just ensuring like your business is ready to go and you are your business wherever you go. Once you start it, your image is your image, as well as conference preparation, because within the STEM field, we do have national conferences and they do award those students money who present their research. So it's all about imparting boldness and imparting helping a person identify their identity within themselves.
I love that. I love that. Look, y'all, we're gonna find out more because I got questions, especially between with the pharmaceuticals and the cosmetics. We're gonna answer these questions next time. We're gonna answer these questions on the next one because I'm thinking about, those small entrepreneurs or independent entrepreneurs that have been making these amazing things in their home, and now it blew up. And now it blew up. When should they consult you? Before the blow up, after the blow up? Like, people sell heavily on social media. And, we're shifting more and more to being conscious and aware of the toxins and the chemicals in a lot of the everyday products that we use. And so people are really just going back to their roots. Like, that's how I see it. These are the things that people were using, from whether it's homemade deodorants and soaps to, tinctures and all these are the things that we were doing before the pharmaceutical industry blew up and then bled over into the cosmetics and all of these other things. Like, I want some cute lipstick, eyeshadow, all of that stuff, but it did not always contain things that could kill me one day. It
Absolutely.
actually used to just contain the colors from some roses. You wanted it red, found something that was red and made it happen. Like, you know. So, working with, when should someone in that space come have a conversation with you?
So in all actuality, it doesn't matter. You can start with me at the beginning, because we're in there's a statistic. There's 57% of Americans have had at least one idea for a new product, but yet only 2 in 5 ever take that step. And that's actually a statistic I drop every time that I pitch. So I can help turn your idea into a thriving reality, or you can bring your idea that's already thriving and you want to tweak it so it can be global.
Yeah.
So you can come to me at any step. If you have been working on stuff at home and you already have a formulation and you just want me to test it, we can go that route. Or if you have gotten recommendations from clients like, hey, it's too oily, or it's not it doesn't last as long, we can tweak your formulation. Or you may say, hey, I'm good on this formulation, I just want to test, get on the market, but there are other things that I want to start within my business, such as makeup or lotion or an oil. Like, can you formulate it? And we'll go from there. And hey, go forward. So at any stage that you feel necessary, but you do need a chemist for any product that you make, that you need to get on the market, whether it's a beverage, whether it's a sauce, whether it's a spice, whether it's a lotion or anything, like, you need to work with a chemist, and hence Shalom Analytics and Consulting.
See, that's what I'm talking about, sis. We're gonna talk about this some more because I love gardening.
Yes.
And I have not yet tested my soil, and I need to. I know that's a thing.
Mhm.
So for a lot of home gardeners, like true home gardeners, we're not trying to get it to the market or anything like that.
Mhm.
I'm just really trying to improve the taste of my tomatoes. That's all I'm doing. Is trying to improve the taste of my tomatoes.
Fresh
And I
tomato.
need to know about the soil. So is that something
Mhm.
that the home gardener can say, hey, because I know like we get these wherever we order the test from, we're gonna send it off, and they're gonna send it back to our local university. And it's always a cost.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, that's a cost. But is that something that you guys do as well?
Yes, we can test your soil. We can
See,
test
you
your
coming back because now I got questions. You gonna come back and you gonna cover for our, independent stylist who has done created her best conditioner, her best hair growth, or the barber, he done created his best conditioner and beard oil and all that good stuff. Cause now having a beard down to your ankles is the thing. So you coming back and we're gonna talk about how your company is having a great impact on helping the micro and small business owners get the wins, helping them grow, helping them scale, helping them lay great foundations. So, look, before I let you go and keep asking you all of these questions that I said was going to be on the next podcast, go ahead and leave us some information. One, how can the listener reach out to you and contact you? And two, let us know what you got going on next so we can support.
All right. So you can actually go to my website, which is www.shalomanalytics.com. It's all one word. And to contact me, if you scroll down to the bottom, there's a contact box, and you'll see my email and phone number. And you can also shoot me an email through that contacts box, and we will connect. Things that I have going on right now. Literally, I have landed another client, which is a big win for me.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm working on going after certifications right now with the new business. So just keep me lifted up in prayer. And I'm asking the Lord what's next, because I'm out here getting these clients, and then I'm just trying to pivot and go as He says go. So you might see me at your next conference as a vendor. Stop by, pick up a card. Or if you need to have a one-on-one session because you got a product, let me know. I'll drop my calendar link on the website, which I got set up, and you can book a 30-minute session, and then we'll go from there. I always offer one free 30-minute consulting session. After that, you must pay because time is money.
There it is. It's very valuable. It is very valuable. Listen, woman of God, I appreciate you so much. Looking forward to our next podcast episode with you. We're gonna dive deeper into some things. So, look, LaQuita's Toolbox audience, we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of LaQuita's Toolbox. You guys be blessed and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.